Hey, what's up, people? Top of the morning to you. Back at you with another morality moment. This morning, I think I'm gonna talk from the topic: live each moment fully. My note for today would be: live fully in each moment. Dare to look beyond the horizon. Dare to dream. Dare to live your dreams. You only have one life, one chance to give all that you have to this moment. Immerse yourself in great things and live for the ages. It does my heart good to see so many people I know pursuing their dreams. Oftentimes in life, we'll take the easy road. We've been conditioned or taught: go to school, get an education, get a good job, live a good life. But I don't know about you, but it's possible, but for the most part, just because you have an education doesn't guarantee you that you'll have a good job. Just because you have a good job doesn't guarantee that you're going to have a good life. And here's one of the reasons why I figure it's like that. Because a lot of times, a lot of us are living somebody else's dream. And what am I saying by that? A lot of times, we take jobs simply because money, not that it's a passion of our own, because that's the safest route. Job, nice money, think it'll work for me. But again, you go to work, wake up every morning, mumbling and complaining about how you got to go to this job, how you got to do this, complaining about this person on the job, complaining about that person on the job, complaining about your boss, and all of that stuff. When our reality, when you go work for somebody else's company, guess what? You're living their dream. That's their dream, unless you're working within a company where you have your dream job. But for the most part, most of us, we work in somebody else's dream. And living each moment fully, take some time to consider what it is that you really want. What are the desires of your heart? What's your dream? And when you figure that out, live your dream, live your reality. Because somebody once told me, why fail miserably at something you hate when you can fail at doing what you love doing? It didn't make sense to me at the time, but it makes a lot of sense to me right now, being that, I'm pursuing my own dream of being a business owner, working for myself, determining my own wealth, living fully in this moment. But it's not easy. It's going to take some courage. It's going to take some sacrifice. It's going to take you to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. Just like this morning, I would love to stay in the bed and rest with my family, but hey, got to do what I got to do. I'm living my dream. So in order for me to live my dream, I got to do what's necessary to fulfill that dream. This is one thing I want us to remember. If I could, life comes in cycles. A lot of times, temporary situations that come along are generally meant to be temporary situations, but for whatever reason, we allow temporary situations to become ways of life. And living each moment to the fullest, find out right here, right now, what it is that you really, 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 really want to be doing with your life. Because ultimately, when your life is over, are you going to have a lot of regrets, wishing that you woulda, coulda, shoulda, but you didn't because of fear? What are people going to say after you leave here? Did your life mean anything? Did you contribute anything of substantial quality to your existence here on earth? So think about that stuff. Live fully in this moment. Whatever you got to do, just do it. Like Nike say, but guess what? Nike stole that from the Bible, because Mary told the disciples that was following Jesus, whatever he say, just do it. So they took that slogan out of the Bible. But again, live in this moment fully. The Bible tells us to write the vision and make it plain. What's the vision? What's your dream? Figure out what that is and live that reality, and stop living somebody else's reality. Live fully in this moment. You might not be where you want to be, but thank God you're where you're at and you're not where you used to be. You know, every breath you take is an opportunity for you to get it right. If you make a mistake, get it right. If you're doing okay, improve on what you're doing. I heard something yesterday, and I'm going to wrap with this. They said something along the lines that excellence is not an option, it's a habit. You know, excellent people do excellent stuff by habit. It's not an option. So excellence is a habit. So if you want to be excellent, form an excellent habit and live fully in this moment. Hope you enjoyed this morning's morality moment. Peace, and I'm out.